My name is Nura Ain binti Abdul Manap. My numeric is 15DT21F1059. Okay, this is the outcome. Traffic light will change with access time. Okay, second, traffic light 1 and traffic light 2 have a connection. 3. We use this statement to demonstrate the hardware and software operation. Okay, last, we use Arduino to do this project. Okay, this theory. Arduino is an open source platform used for building electronic project. Arduino consists of about a physical programmable circuit board and a piece of software or IDE that run on your computer. Used to write and upload computer code to the physical board. The Arduino platform has become quite popular with people just starting out with electronic, and for a good reason. Unlike most previous programmable circuit board, the Arduino does not need a spare piece of hardware. In order to load new code on the board, you can simply use a USB cable. Additionally, the Arduino IDE uses a simplified version of C++, making it to learn to program. Finally, Arduino provides a standard form factor that breaks out the function of the microcontroller into a more accessible package. The Arduino hardware and software was designed for art design hobbies, hacker and newbie, and any more interested in creating interactive object or environment. Arduino can interact with button, LED, motor, speaker, GPS, unique cameras, the internet, and even your smartphone on your TV. The flexibility combined with the fact the Arduino software is free, the hardware boards are pretty cheap, and both the software and hardware are easy to learn, has LED to a large community of users who have contributed code and released introduction for a whole variety of Arduino-based projects for everything from robot and heating pad hand warming blanket to harness for tuner tally machine. Arduino segmenting code into function allow a program to create modular piece of code that perform a definite task and then return to the area of code from which the function was called. The type case for creating a function is when one needs to perform the same action multiple times in a program. For programmers accustomed to using basic functions in Arduino, provide the utility of using subroutines. Standardizing code fragment into functions has several advantages. First, function help the program stay organized. Often this help to conceptualize the program. Function can define one action in one place so that the function only have to be thought out and debugged once. This also reduces chance for error in modification. If the code need to be changed, function make the whole get small and more compact because sections of code are in time. They make it easy to recode in other program by making it more modular, and as a nice side effect, using function also often make the code more readable. There are two required functions in a Arduino skate: setup and loop. The function must be carried outside the bracket of two functions. As an example, we will create a simple function to multiply two numbers.
My name is Keshawa, son of Sevaguru. My metric number is 15DET21F1025. Today, I would like to explain about resistor. A resistor is a passive two-terminal electrical component that implements electrical resistance as a circuit element in electronic circuits. Resistors are used to reduce current flow, adjust signal levels to divide voltages, bias active elements, and terminate transmission lines, among other uses. High power resistor that can dissipate many watts of electrical power as heat may be used as part of motor controls in power distribution system or as test load of our generators. So in this project function, resistor is allowed uh, current flow. In the hydraulic analogy, current flowing through a wire is like water flowing through a pipe, and the voltage drop across the wire is like the pressure drop that push water through the pipe. Conductance is proportional to how much flow occurs for a given pressure, and resistance is proportional to how much pressure is required to achieve given flow. The voltage drops, not the voltage itself, provides the driving force pushing current through a resistor. In hydraulic, it is similar to pressure difference between two sides of pipe, not the pressure itself, determines the flow through it. For example, there may be a large water pressure to above the pipe which tries to push water down through the pipe, but there may be an equally large water pressure below the pipe which tries to push water back up through the pipe. If these pressures are equal, no water flows. The resistance and conductance of a wire, resistor or other element is mostly determined by two properties, which is geometry, shape, and material. Geometry is important because it is more difficult to push water through a long, narrow pipe than a wide, short pipe. In the same way, a long, thin copper wire has higher resistance, which is lower conductance than a short, thick copper wire. Materials are important as well. A pipe filled with air restricts the flow of water more than a clean pipe of the same shape and size. Similarly, electrons can flow freely and easily through a copper wire but cannot flow as easily through a steel wire of the same shape and size, and they essentially cannot flow at all through an insulator like rubber regardless of its shape. The difference between copper, steel and rubber is related to their microscopic structure and electron configuration, and it is quantified by a property called resistivity. In addition to geometry and material, there are various other factors that influence resistance and conductance, such as temperature. Next, I would like to explain about push button. A push button or simply button is a simple switch mechanism to control aspect of a machine or progress. Buttons are typically made out of a hard material, usually plastic or metal. The surface is usually flat or shaped to accommodate the human finger or hand, so as to be easily depressed or pushed. Buttons are most often biased switch, although many unbiased buttons still require a spring to return to their unpushed state. Terms of the Terms for the pushing of a button include pressing, depressing, mashing, slapping, hitting, and punching. The push button is a component that connects 2 points in a circuit. When you press it, the example turns of an LED. When you press the button, we connect 3 wires to the Arduino board. The first goes from one leg of the push button to a pull-up resistor to the 5-volt supply. The second goes from the corresponding leg of the push button to ground. The third connects to a digital I/O pin which reads the button state. When the push button is open, there is no connection between the two legs of push button, so the pin is connected to 5-volt and we read a high. When the button is closed, it makes a connection between its two legs, connecting the pin to ground so that we read a low.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh dan salam sejahtera. Saya Putra Fakullah bin Fadli dari kelas di 15 dari kelas DET 2A. Program metrik 15 DET 21F1077. So hari ini saya nak bagi penerangan mengenai traffic light system, dan yang ini adalah litar untuk traffic light system. Dekat sini terdapat lampu RGB. Terusnya adalah resistor 221 ohm dan ini adalah resistor 1 kilo ohm dan ini adalah Arduino. Okey, saya akan bagi penerangan sikit mengenai 3 LED merah, kuning, hijau sebagai lampu isyarat di satu simpang. Butang tekan sebagai penderia untuk kereta masuk di simpang. Lampu isyarat satu adalah untuk jalan utama dan sentiasa hijau. Terusnya lampu isyarat kedua adalah untuk simpang dan sentiasa merah. Apabila kereta hadir di simpang, lampu isyarat pertama akan bertukar kepada kuning selama 2 saat dan kemudiannya menjadi merah. Okey, selepas 1 saat, lampu isyarat kedua akan bertukar. Selepas kereta pergi, lampu isyarat kedua akan bertukar kepada kuning selama 2 saat dan kemudian ke merah. Lampu isyarat satu akan bertukar kembali kepada hijau. Okey, saya akan tunjuk yang ini adalah litar. Terusnya, ini adalah coding untuk traffic light system. Tuan boleh tengok kat sini. Okey, seterusnya saya akan start simulation. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Okey, kat sini tuan akan nampak litar telah dimulakan. Litar satu akan berwarna merah dalam 2 saat. Seterusnya akan hijau dalam 1 saat. Seterusnya traffic light yang kedua akan bertukar kepada hijau untuk jalan dan dia akan stop selepas 2 saat kereta sudah tiada. Okey. So itu saja daripada saya. Sekian, terima kasih.
I would like to explain about this question. In the result, we can see the RGB light, LED, which is red, green, and blue. Traffic light 1 will change to blue for 2 seconds and then to red. Then after 1 second, traffic light 2 will change to green. Next, after the car left, traffic light 2 will change to blue for 2 seconds and then to red. And traffic light 1 will change back to green. For discussion, we have changed the text code before the simulation. Thank you.
In conclusion, the traffic light will change with access time. Then traffic light 1 and traffic light 2 have a connection. We use this statement to demonstrate the hardware and software operation. We use Arduino to do this project using Tinkercad. We also can see the change of the traffic light color after start simulation.